how can you be sure that you are really an INFP? Because maybe you've read some descriptions or profiles online and you find a bit of similarities, but you're not sure about certain traits or certain aspects. And so in this video, I want to share with you signs that you are an INFP. And in the first part, it will be very common signs, things that you're very unlikely to have doubts about. But in the second part, I will share all my struggles as an INFP and all the gray areas that I had to dig into to be sure and to clarify all of this. So it will be, for example, stuff like if you hesitate between two profiles, if you're reading certain traits in your INFP profile, but it doesn't really fit you, and it will sum up as well the common struggles that INFPs might have when they try to type themselves. So if it sounds good for you, let's dive in. Hey, I'm Michael, welcome on my channel. As an INFP, I share every week tips and all my discoveries about overcoming your challenges, live a better life. So if you want to be a part of that, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified every time I post a video every week. Okay, let's dive in. So as I've said, maybe over the past 3 weeks, I've been researching about the MBTI personality types, and I've discovered, 3 weeks ago that I was an INFP, and I've been doing a lot of research about it. And I was hesitating a lot, and I had to research and to dig deep into all the cognitive functions, all the different profiles, because I hesitated between different profiles. So I just want to share with you all the information that I gathered, and if it can save you some time, it will be great. So the first point, if you already done some research, you might be familiar with this, is that as an INFP, we are idealists. We have deep personal value, and it's because of our primary function, which is introverted feeling, FI. So it's we're really constantly thinking about what's right for us. We have an internal compass about moral and our values. So that's why INFPs are usually very interested in psychology or in ethics. The second point is that we are usually seekers. We are wanderers. We have no clear plan. We are always looking for something into our lives, and it's very true for me, and it's because of our secondary function, which is extroverted intuition, NE. So we are already looking for new ways to explore, to experiment new things. So it can be as simple as trying new looks, trying new haircuts, or going traveling on another country, doing some new experiences. The third point is that INFPs are looking for meaning in everything. Because they have deep personal values, they want to feel something in everything they do. That's why they won't like to do a job that is very repetitive. The fourth point, just looking at my notes here because I don't want to forget anything. The fourth point is that we like to write things. It's easier to express something by writing it instead of just talking. You might be familiar with this experience when you try to explain something, but you just lose yourself in your own explanation. It doesn't make any sense. And usually you're more comfortable when you have the time to organize your thoughts. And that's why you might have, it doesn't mean you're very good at writing essays or poems or a novel, but it just means that you're more comfortable when you try to communicate over text, by writing something. Point number 5 is that INFPs are usually good at learning new languages, and it's because of our extroverted intuition, which thanks to the NE, we are able to pick up patterns and thus connect the world together. Number 6 is obviously, as an introverted, you need time alone, to the point where you might even go into a hermit mode, and it can become sometimes a problem because you can really cut yourself from from the outside world, but definitely, especially after an event or a party or time outside, you will feel the need to retreat and to spend time alone to recharge. Number 7 is that INFPs are easygoing. Because they have strong personal values, they believe that everyone should have their own, so they are very tolerant. Number 8, INFPs are not project finishers. We are very good at starting projects because we function with creativity, with passion, with emotion, and so we are very enthusiastic when we start a new project. But because of our tendency to explore, we can be very distracted by new shiny objects. So we are not known to be project finishers, but project starters. Okay, number 9, and now I will be talking about more delicate issues, more like points where you might be not sure, and that's what I found by doing more research. So number 9 is that INFP might struggle because they feel that they are pretty logic, so that's why they might confuse themselves with other types, more thinking type like INTP. But because the extroverted thinking, TE, is our inferior function, we are very capable of using it. And what I found by researching is that often INFPs will first start in their lives by being attracted to logic and by being good at math, science, or physics. And so it's not because you started your life by being attracted to logic that you're not an INFP. And sometimes it can be the case. Like for me, I was a mechanical engineer and I was very good at school in math, science. So that's why I hesitated at first, because I thought I might be more of a thinking type and a logic type. The number 10 is that you probably feel like you think too much. And the phrasing here is important because you feel like you're thinking too much. And it's my case as well, and I've researched and I found that many INFPs that think that are actually feelers, because thinking all the time does not mean that you're using a thinking function. It just means that when you say you're thinking all the time, it just means that you're already always assessing how you feel. Does it feel right to you? Does it align on your values? So it's not a thinking function. So if you feel like you're thinking all the time, there is a good chance that you might be an INFP. Number 11, you probably struggle with this because INFPs are supposed to be good-hearted, but you might struggle with that. And the common thought that an INFP will have is that he will not consider himself as good-hearted because he feels like he's not good-hearted enough. But by feeling that, it's actually proving that INFPs are good-hearted because they would like to be more good-hearted. So that's the point. Number 12, I've done some research on it, and it's that INFPs often doubt their type and often spend a lot of time researching it. And it's actually pretty coherent because we are always assessing if what we are doing is aligned with our values, and it's exactly that. Like, is this personality type of the MBTI system right for me? Is it the right fit for me? Does it feel right? So you're constantly assessing, and wondering about that. So if you're really interested in your type, and if you're really hesitating and frustrated, there is a good chance that you might be an INFP. Number 13 is the creativity part. When I first read that, I completely disagree with it because I was a mechanical engineer, so I was kind of focused on logic and thinking. But what I found is that INFPs can be very creative, but also can be very unaware that they are creative and that they crave it. So what happened for me is that when I started to ask myself the question, actually it's not like creativity should be natural to you. It's more like you crave it and you might be unaware of it. So I hope this helps, because this one really helped me to realize that actually you might be unaware of it. Number 14, INFPs are supposed to be, are supposed to like people. They are called healer, they are called the mediator. But actually, if you're an INFP, there is a high chance that you really dislike social interaction, because INFPs want social connection, human interaction, but not social connection just in the sense of small talk. Actually, INFPs really hate small talks. That's why if you're an INFP, conversations about the weather or about really meaningless stuff are really likely to deplete you, and you will be very likely to escape the conversation. So that's the thing. INFP do care for people, but they want to have a deep meaning, deep connection. They don't care about small talk. Okay, number 15 is about empathy. I struggled with that one because I was finding myself very capable of empathy, but there are several types of empathy, and for INFPs it's more you will be much more able to relate to someone if you've already lived the experience. So it's not like INFJ, who can absorb emotions and really feel at the same time. For INFPs, we have to be in the other person's shoes, and it can be really the case when we already lived the experience. We can really easily relate to that feelings, to that person. That's why we are usually very sensitive to music, to TV shows, to books, and sometimes we can feel very emotional for no real reason, for a small detail in a movie or in the music, because it might remind you of something, or because the character in the movie is living something that you lived, and not because he's showing a lot of emotion, but because you know what he's been through, and you're just showing empathy through that. Number 16 is that INFPs, because of their third function, which is memory, which is SI, can be really stuck in a rut, because we tend to be stuck on our way, and if we don't balance it with our second function, which is NE, exploration, we can easily be stuck in a rut and stay in our comfort zone, and that can be the case for me. I can be stuck on something for a long time. The number 17 is that you can be mistyped as an extrovert, because when you decide to go out, when you decide to be social, you can actually be very outgoing, very funny. You don't mind being the center of the attention as long as you've chosen it. And so that's why you can be mistyped as an extrovert. But knowing that, you should remember that after doing so, you will usually feel the need to retreat and to spend time alone with yourself. Because we like to go out to explore, but we need time afterwards to treat the information, to assess how we feel about it, how we look at it through the lens of our personal values. And finally, number 18, thank you if you stayed until that point, but it's like you often feel misunderstood, because there is a lot of the time there is a lot going on inside you. If you're an INFP, you have a rich inner world, and you're constantly thinking, evaluating, feeling, and so sometimes you can be misunderstood. And if you try to explain to someone who is asking you what's going on, you might feel like in distress because you don't even know how to explain what's going on in your own head. So it can be tricky sometimes. But yeah, so that's just to say that INFPs like to reflect on things, but internally. So they like to treat their emotions by themselves. Okay, that's it. I hope you will find some value in this video. I hope it will help you to decide whether or not you're an INFP, because it can be very frustrating and confusing when you're looking for information online. Like you might easily think that you're one type and another at the same time. And so I had to do a lot of research, so I hope it will help you to decide. I hope you will recognize yourself in some of the struggles. And so if yes, tell me in the comments, did you struggle to know you're an INFP? Why are you sure you're an INFP? And let me know if you want me to do a video about specific struggles that INFP might have, as I think I will be doing a lot of research and experience about it. So just let me know in the comments, and yeah, thank you for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.